welcome into the first live of Tapping Vegas. Thank you guys for joining in with us. If you saw these social posts about us going live, hey, we had to break out the Shador chain. We had to break out some. Why? Bobby, 25 freaking units over we only do 5 fights a week, 5 fights a card. That means in the last 10 fights we've broken down 25 units. It's insane. 18 2 weeks ago, 7 last week. Bobby, if DDP didn't get absolutely demolished, that would have been a huge night. We were actually on the verge of an 18.1 night if we did have the DDP fight go our way. I'll take the 7 units any day of the week. Bobby, I am so happy to be back. This card, not a lot of people are going to be watching it, man. It's in that China time. We're talking like, what is this, a 3 a.m. main card? Is that, I mean, it's something, is it 3 or is it 5?
It's like between 3 and 5. So probably around 5 is when it's going to be ending and when you're going to end up seeing Johnny Walker with wacky flailing inflatable tube man arms up against the cage and his face all smushed up from some concussive blows. It's probably what you're going to be seeing if you're awake at about 5:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in America.
Nope. I know I'm not going to be waking up that early on a Saturday. So, guys, if you want to watch this fight, or is this going to be 5 a.m. Sunday time?
It would basically be like, you wake up Sunday morning at 5:15 in the morning, Johnny Walker's dead.
Hey, Monday through Sunday, I'm not waking up at 5:15 to watch a Johnny Walker fight. Ethan in the chat, gentlemen, love the live. What's going on, buddy? Super excited. We added some Tapology belts. If you guys would like to be in our Tapology group over on Tapology, Better Green MMA, that's our group predictions. Bobby was the winner last week. Congratulations. That's 2 weeks in a row, Bobby. Getting a little closer to Mr. Parker down there too, man.
Yeah, getting closer and closer. Hopefully going to be taking the edge here soon. It's very competitive in our Tapology group, though. We got a lot of people in there, including Parker and a few others in there that definitely know what they're talking about in the industry, and a bunch of sharks in the division. So if you want to go swim with the sharks, hey, by all means, jump in the tank.
Absolutely, man. We got Judge Analyzer over there on the front line of scoring for MMA. Bobby, let's get into this first fight, man. Take the first one away.
Michel Pereira versus Kyle Daukaus. Daukaus is coming back to the UFC. This is his second stint. He's been really clamoring to get back ever since he was first cut, roughly around 2022. It's the last time we've seen him in action for the UFC. I have more faith in Daukaus than I thought I would initially with this fight, but it's very short notice. That's the only reason why he's getting this opportunity. And he's been kind of asking for short notice fights for a while. The UFC's finally obliged because Michel Pereira's first opponent pulled out. So Kyle probably has improved since he's spent some, time on the Cage Fury side of things is where he's been at. Marco Tulio was the one that dropped out, so Daukaus got the call. My thing is, I don't know that Daukaus has improved enough in Cage Fury to be able to take this on short notice from Pereira. Don't get me wrong. I've actually lost a lot of confidence in Michel Pereira. Mm-hmm. From when he first came into the UFC, he was making waves in 2019, with the Tristan Connolly fight. Even though he lost it, it was the acrobatics and the, Shinobi, running off the cage, trying to throw punches and backflips into guard passes and all this nonsense. And he's done well for himself, with a 5-fight, 6-7-fight win streak, 8-fight win streak, excuse me. Some people are going to look at his record after that 8-fight win streak, after the Connolly loss and his second loss against Sanchez due to an illegal knee. He was handily winning that fight, got himself disqualified and lost. So it should have technically been a 9-fight win streak. But, I mean, when you're losing to Anthony Hernandez after what we just saw Anthony Hernandez do to Roman Dolidze and Abu Smagomedov, not as great as I would like, but still, a worthy name in the division. I'm not too scared of back-to-back losses when you're losing to the elite of the elite at that level. So I like Pereira in this. I just think the short notice is really going to give Daukaus some trouble. He is very good at grappling. I mean, that's why his nickname is the Dark Knight, Daukaus. But I don't really think he's going to be able to do too much grappling here. I think it's going to be primarily a striking fight. It's going to be a 3-round fight. I have concerns about Pereira's gas tank even in 3-round fights, but I don't think Dawkins is going to be able to put forth that type of pressure to really kind of wilt Pereira and make that kind of a concern. I just like Pereira striking in this. I think he can keep it standing. I don't think Dawkins is going to be able to grapple like he wants to, which would be a great path to victory for him. I think Pereira can do just enough to survive over 15 minutes to not just totally collapse from exhaustion. He's a minus 270. Dawkins is a plus 220. I can't disagree too much with this, unfortunately. As far as like a method, I kind of like Pereira by decision at plus 225. Dawkins is pretty tough. I know he's been finished before in the UFC, but I think getting this second chance is going to reinvigorate him. It's going to give him a little extra to fight for, and I do think he can survive over 15 minutes to make it to the end, and I think Pereira can get a decision at plus 225. I think that's how I'm rolling. What do you think?
I wanted a quick shout out Ethan too. I'm glad we went live. This is a good one to start with. He said for us it'd be like a Friday night, so it's going to be into Saturday morning at Saturday 5 a.m. So it kind of gets a little weird with those time zones going on. So it'll be Saturday around 5 a.m. for those fights. Looking over on the Vegas side, 85% of bets on Pereira, 85% of the money. We're not seeing any sharp swing there. I think it's because they see it just like you and I do. This is going to be a Pereira fight. You say second chance, I say second schmance, man. Dockhouse, okay, welcome back, man. You're going up against Pereira, who's had a rough couple fights. Like you were saying, I don't really hold that against him. I never thought of him as being one of the like elite top tier guys. He's not. He doesn't need to be for Dockhouse. I think I'm going to go actually with the KO here with Pereira. I just think his striking is going to be too much. He's too good at plus 130. I like that a lot. I don't think Dockhouse can take him down, hold him down. I really don't. I don't think that really he's had the competition that Pereira's had. I see him getting smashed, man. Like, I'm talking first, second round KO. I don't think that this is going to matter about gas tank. I know. I'm throwing that out there, man. Do you have anything else about that fight, or can I move on to the next one?
No, we're moving on.
Okay, good. Let's talk about Sumaderji versus Kevin Borjas. This is an interesting one. I like that Sumaderji has the Sonda. I think I'm going to have to go with the dog here, though, Bobby. Right now, he's getting 60% of the picks over on Tapology. Looking at betting-wise, Kevin Borjas, 62% of the bets. Ooh, wow, 86% of the money. Why is he the underdog here? That's freaking me out.
Borjas
I did not assume it'd be that much. He's got 62% of the bets, 86% of the money.
Yeah, that's a bit wild. I think people just saw the record probably because when I was researching this fight, I was asking myself as well, why is this guy the underdog? And the only thing I could think of is like they both kind of have, I mean, they're very similar. Like he's only lost to Joshua Van, and Joshua Van right now is like if Brock Lesnar and then Randy Couture and John Jones had a baby, and then that baby was like George St. Pierre's cousin. Yeah, that's Joshua Van pretty much. And then Alessandro Costa. So got the Contender Series, 2 losses, one against Ronaldo Rodriguez, and then, so it's the only thing I can think of. But, I mean, Sumadarje, I don't know. His record's very similar, right? 1-2 in his last 3. He's lost to Tim Elliott, lost to Charles Johnson. I don't know. I don't know what people are seeing because actually he's on 3-fight skid, and he's been finished in 2 of those because Matt Schnell finished him by triangle. Then he lost to Tim Elliott by triangle, lost a unanimous decision to Charles Johnson, his most recent fight, W over Mitch Raposo, April this year. So, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a 3-fight skid for Sumadarje and he's been triangle choked, 2 of those. I don't know. This is a tough one, though, because, there's not really anything that's kind of setting these 2 guys apart for me that much. So
the money scares me. If he truly is that big of like he's not huge underdog, but if he's getting that much percentage of the money, Why? And I had him at plus 130. He's moved to plus 150 with 86% of the money coming in. This is one of those things that Ethan and Wyatt would say is just too strange, too weird for Vegas. It's almost pushing me off of Borjas completely, Bobby, to be honest, over to like the Sumaderji by decision at plus 110. Once again, you can just take Sumaderji money line. Minus 150 is not too bad, but I don't see him getting the knockout on Borjas. I don't see him getting the sub on Borjas. So it's like maybe that's the play here is the plus 110.
Yeah. If you do that, I'll go Maderge money line just to play it safe.
Okay.
In case he does kill Borjas or something.
Yeah, right.
Because I was leaning towards Madarge anyway. Like I said, nothing's really fantastical about either one of these guys, and especially since you pointed that out. Yeah, that's crazy that Vegas would pay out. Would you say like 80-something% of bets on an underdog?
86% on DraftKings.
Yeah, and he's going up even more as an underdog.
Yeah,
no,
that's scary.
No, yeah, that's a hell no. No, I'm out.
This is not good. We got a comment here. I got a potential bad news. I was watching the Chinese weigh-in stream. Ortega missed weight and looks like the fight's off. Not 100% confirmed yet. Well, we'll still break down that fight because that is one of the ones that we have in here. But that is bad news.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Because that was one I really liked. Well, let's talk about the third fight before we get into that one, okay? Bobby, take it away.
Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. This is another one that the odds are kind of befuddling me on because trying to get Cortez Acosta as an underdog just feels like too good of a value for me to try to pass up because I personally hate Cortez Acosta almost to the point of irrationally hating him just because I hate the entire men's heavyweight division in the UFC. But for some reason in my heart, I have a special hatred for Cortez Acosta because he just is like the typical shit up-and-comer in the division that you just hate to see across the cage from anybody because he's just so good at just making every damn fight, which you don't want to see in one of already the most boring divisions in the UFC, which is just playing right into his tap dance around, just do enough to win bullshit game. And that is Cortez Acosta. Salsa boy salsa dances his way to some nonsense every damn time. And after Pavlovich's last fight against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, a guy who's not even in the UFC and got the boot shortly thereafter, he looked absolutely gun shy. He doesn't look like the same like first round, second round killer that he was coming up in the UFC. I think losing to Volkov really might have like played a role in some of his confidence or something. I'm not trying to be an armchair psychologist, but man, he should have had the finish over Rozenstruik. Rozenstruik's not good, never has been good. Should have been easy, but I just think Volkov took something from him. I think losing to Tom Aspinall, getting KO'd like that, and then losing to Volkov right after, not only not getting KO'd, sometimes getting your ass beat and just having nothing for a guy over like a 3-round decision is worse for your confidence than a knockout because you can at least excuse the knockout as though he got lucky, it was a flash. He just had no damn answers for a guy who was his primary sparring partner for years. He should have known the intricacies and the ins and outs of his game. And Volkov knew his too, but Volkov, by his own admission, was telling the press during conferences he had no memory of sparring with this guy sometimes because it would start and he'd get starched almost instantly. So for you to go out there and just have no answers over 15 minutes and just get battered by leg kicks, I think he's shattered. And I just think Cortez Acosta is just going to make this boring over another 15 minutes and just salsa dance his way to another stupid decision. And I would love to be wrong and see Pavlovich get that killer instinct and that drive and that finishing power back and go out there, but I just think it's done for him. And I just think Cortez Acosta is just really good at just staying out of range and just picking away at him. And it's basically going to be like a sloppier, shittier version of what Volkov did to him with a sloppier guy who I'm really trying not to irrationally just spew vitriol against right now. So for that, I'm taking Waldo Cortez Acosta at the plus 210. That money line alone is just way too tantalizing for a guy who's just way too good at bullshit like this. And it's absolutely insane you can get him at a plus 450 decision as well, because I could easily see it going that way as well. But what do you think?
I wish I could disagree with you, man. I really do, because I would, once again, it's not that I love Pavlovich or I love my Russian fighters, but he was so cool. We were talking about like his ape index, and it's like, all right, well, he couldn't beat Aspinall, but he's still really good. He's a knockout artist, and now how far he's fallen is just not fun. Watching him lose to Costa would suck. I feel like at that point, all the hype on Pavlovich is dead, right? Like, there's no hype left.
Yeah, it'd be done. It would be absorbed by Cortez Acosta, and he's already absorbing a lot along the way.
He is. 83% of picks on Tapology are on Pavlovich. Then we're looking on the betting side. 66% of bets, 69% of the money, 3% sharp money on Pavlovich. God, but why, man? And it's like he's got the 6-inch reach. He's got the knockout power that Acosta doesn't have. I would love for Pavlovich to just starch this dude and be done with it, but kind of like you were saying, man, we saw MVP in that fight with, he just fought Cannonier. Thank you. Yep. Yes, he didn't hurt Cannonier at all. You're kind of like, like Hamzat, 500 shots didn't leave a mark on a DDP. He's not gonna damage Pavlovich at all, but he can just get a point win. Point fest, point fight.
Right.
I hate it, man. But I think I'm with you here. I have to go with the cost. So I'll go Acosta money line, and at a Acosta decision, I wouldn't hate for Haymaker. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I might double back on that depending on Brian Ortega. We'll see.
Yep. All right, let's talk about that fight. We're talking about Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. Once again, we got news that this fight might be off. We've got a couple informants over there in China right now. I'm on Aljamain Sterling quite a bit here, Bobby, to be honest. I was actually personally shocked that Sterling's older than Ortega, because that did not feel like,
that was a bit surprising.
Reading that when I was doing the research, I was like, it does not feel like it. Sterling does not feel 36 to me. But I just think Sterling, he's got a lot better wrestling. I think he's got better striking than Ortega. Ortega is just a submission artist. He is the version of Paul Craig. Just one of those guys that if he can catch you in the right submission, then he's 5-unit max bet MLB cash. Ethan did it. All would have cost you was $5 on the website, bettergreen.com. Thank you, Ethan, for the comment. Congratulations, man. Knew that one was going to hit. Not a single doubt in my mind. But back to this fight. Dude, I just, Ortega's going to have to catch Sterling in something. I don't think he does. I really don't think he does, man. So I think Aljamain Sterling is going to beat him in the striking. I think he's going to stay in better positioning so Ortega doesn't get him. Unfortunately, I'm a little concerned you are going to be on Ortega's side, so I'm not going to shit on Ortega too much. 87% of picks over on Tapology are on Sterling. And looking at betting percentage, 82% of bets, 77% of the money. So we are having about 5% of sharp money coming in on Ortega at the plus 250. That's if he catches Sterling. I'm just not going to put my, kind of like with the Pavlovich. If you're betting on Pavlovich, you're betting that he lands that knockout shot. I'm not betting my bankroll on him catching Sterling in a compromised position. That's just my opinion. What do you think, Bobby?
I am all in on Ortega. Maybe it's just because I'm stuck in, the past, but I don't see why he's such a heavy underdog, because he's had some time off, but it's been legitimate time off. Like the Max Holloway fight in 2018, of course you're going to take time off to recover from that. Maybe it's just because it was more indicative of Korean Zombie and how quickly he fell off, but coming back in 2020 and doing what he did to Korean Zombie with vastly improved striking and everything else still at that elite level was insane. Then he lost to Volkanovski. No shame in losing to Volkanovski at the time in a title fight. Had Volkanovski in a very deep mounted guillotine. Freak accident, Yair Rodriguez in 2022 dislocated his shoulder. That fight's a wash. Came back to beat Rodriguez by arm triangle in 2024 after some more time off. Most recent fight, September 14th, lost to Diego Lopez. Once again, no shame there. Aljamain Sterling lost to Movsar Evlov. No shame there. It was a very close fight, back and forth. Here's my thing. I think Ortega's striking, coming off that Chan Sung Jung Korean Zombie fight, was the best it's ever been. I think it's still at that level. I just think that if he tries to, because Aljamain Sterling's going to wrestle the dude, because if they get in a pure striking match, he really is screwed, in my opinion, because his striking's not that great. He can't pass guard. Him and Merab cannot pass guard in pure grappling matches. This is one of those rare. Yeah, they can't pass guard.
Ortega's done, bro. He's so toasted, bro.
No. If this fight goes on, I think Brian Ortega submits him because he's going to try to grapple and he's going to get submitted because Ortega doesn't have takedowns, but it doesn't matter because this is the one rare instance where crawl atop me and meet your doom is actually going to come into place. Because if he tries to crawl atop Brian Ortega, he's going to get caught. So his best option is to try to strike with him, but he just leans so face forward into his strikes, and that's how he got finished by O'Malley. And I get O'Malley's leaps and bounds above Ortega in the striking department, but I don't know. Yeah, I was shocked that Ortega's 34 and Sterling's 36. I mean, yeah, Aljo's looked great up a weight class from Bantam at 145 here, but it's Brian Ortega's weight class he's been at for his whole career, to my knowledge right now.
Hoop from a butt.
I don't know, man. If this fight takes place, I like Ortega. It's 250 money line alone is too good to pass up. It's just too tantalizing. Could he be shot? MMA Prime does not last that long. We know that. We know that you only get a limited amount of time. You have, title shots, and before you know it, you're not even a contender, and before you know it, you're back working at Walmart. I get it. But he's lost to the elite of the elite in his last few losses. They've been his only losses. His only losses in his career have all been to either champs, with the exception of Diego Lopez, or former champs. I'm taking Ortega money line here. If he loses this, I'll be off of him for the record going forward for the rest of his career. But if he looks even at least halfway like Brian Ortega against Korean Zombie, it's wheels up right now. And Brian Ortega sub at plus 800, I don't think that's going to be a haymaker. I'm just comfortable with the money line if this fight even takes place. But come on. That's just too good to pass up to at least sprinkle some money on right now.
Look at you cherry picking, though. You just said, he's fought all champs except for, Diego Lopez, who he got his back blown out against. Hey, my grandma's never lost to John Jones, man.
Hey, he's fought against all champs too. Aljamain has as well. I'm not saying that the champs are what makes or breaks this fight. I'm saying the striking is going to be what makes or breaks this fight. I think the striking is still at that level. I think the striking that he was showing in his fights since he came back in 2020, he actually vastly improved.
Is this the man who got a boxing class in the middle of a fight with Max Holloway? He had a one-on-one instructor meeting with him.
Yeah, but Aljamain Sterling is not a boxing coach. Aljamain Sterling is actually a cardio kickboxing instructor is what he is.
Hey, he's like Merab, man. He's going to get up in that ass. We know that.
There's still even a world of difference between Merab and Aljo. Aljo got starched by O'Malley, and O'Malley had no answers for Merab.
Okay.
O'Malley was getting humped literally by Merab. Meanwhile, Aljo was face down, ass up.
Hey, you ask any MMA expert out there, neck kisses is an effective method.
I'm telling you. He was making love to that man. Meanwhile, Sterling was about to get his prison wallet taken.
Oh, man, you take away this main fight, man.
We got Johnny Walker versus Zhang Mingyang. Not much to say about this fight. Johnny Walker has one of the weakest chins in MMA. Every time he gets knocked out, it's an increasingly goofy fashion. The man can never just go out like a normal human being. He either goes out like a Star Wars AT-AT or he goes out like a wacky flailing inflatable tube man. I don't see that changing in this fight. This is going to be a striking match. This is going to be tailor-made since we're in China for Ming Yang to really appease that crowd that's over there. I can't say some of the things I want to say about the communist Chinese regime and the people that inhabit that accursed country because this would get banned. But yeah, Zhang Ming Yang's going to make quick work of Johnny Walker. They're both going to want to stay standing. I don't see this being a grappling match at all. Zhang has an enormous amount of all of his wins coming from first round finishes. Road to UFC is the promotion that he's making his way from. Been very good for developing Asian talent for the UFC at large. And he's been killing dudes on that ever since. And that's how he's made his way to the UFC, right? Tukos KO June of 2022 on that promotion. UFC 298, Brinson Habero KO, TKO over Ozzy Diaz, TKO over Anthony Smith, all in round one. Opponents don't even make it to the 5-minute mark with him. Anthony Smith actually lasted the longest, making it 4 minutes, 3 seconds. And I see this very same thing happening to good old Johnny Walker, unfortunately. Johnny Walker, hey, we talk about Brian Ortega and hoping he looks like his 2020 self or, looking like his self that beat Yair Rodriguez last year or whatever. This is a guy, Johnny Walker, I don't have to worry about looking like his 2019 self. That guy's dead, gone, buried. I know it ain't coming back. There's no hope and there's no question. Because, in 2019, you would have thought that Johnny Walker was just going to steamroll his way to a John Jones title fight like nothing, right? Back when John Jones actually fought real contenders. Didn't happen. Corey Anderson saw to that, and ever since then, it's been very sketchy since then, back and forth, and I just don't think Johnny Walker takes this, especially with the guy. Like I said, you're doing this for the Chinese audience as the main event against a guy that you're tailoring this fight to. Let's give a first-round finisher who's got 3 first-round UFC finishes, not just regional, because we talk about all the time how finishing power is hard to translate to the pro levels at the UFC. This guy's already proven it 3 times in the UFC. Let's give him the guy with the most questionable chin in the division, yet is still a big enough name to get some hype off of, to get some waves off of. Perfect. Because he's already also coming off being finished twice. KO by Magomed Ankalaev this past January. Last June, Volkan Ozdemir KO'd him. Back-to-back KOs. He's already had quite a few KOs in his career. Your chin does not get better. Does not get better with these. Contrary to popular belief, the old school guys used to think your chin would get better by taking more and more shots. Bullshit. It does not. It gets worse. You already have been finished in the second round. And the first round, you're already coming off a first-round knockout loss. Magomed Ankalaev, it really should be 3. Magomed Ankalaev beat this man twice. Had him so shook up in the first fight in October 2023, he said he was in the desert. They asked him where he was. He just knew it was the desert. That's all he could say. I'm in the desert. I don't know. Yeah. It's going to be very similar this Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Don't give a shit what day it is. The outcome's going to be the same. This man's going to be waking up. He's going to be asked where he's at. He's going to say, Riceland. That's all he's going to be able to say is Riceland because he ain't going to have a damn clue what city, what province, what nothing. Man's going to be out cold up against that fence, live streamed on TV. China has public execution still. This is going to be the latest one. I'm even going to pull out his full legal government name, not this Johnny Walker Scotch bullshit. Walker Johnny da Silva Baja de Souza is going to be out cold thanks to Zhang Mingyang, which, by the way, has a pretty badass nickname. This is like the coolest nickname I've ever heard a fighter actually have. Usually they pick some corny shit. Man calls himself Mountain Tiger. Zhang Mountain Tiger Ming Yang. Enough said. So, I mean, the odds can't really disagree with the odds here. You're getting Zhang Ming Yang at an absolutely disgusting minus line because everybody knows that this is what's going to happen. Everybody knows his minus line. Jesus, I got to flip through all this bullshit here. I just had it. It's insane because it is at minus 355. Walker's at plus 280. I know I've been on a few dogs on this card, and it's hard not to get wrapped up in going all dogs. This, I can't. I can't. He's got a puncher's chance. That's about it. That's all Walker's got. And yeah, Zhang Ming Yang KO TKO minus 280. You're not making money off of it. So I'm just taking straight money line because it doesn't go decision. He's not going to get a sub. Ming Yang money line. That's how I feel. What do you think?
I already know exactly how this one goes. First off, though, you took my Riceland segment away from me, so dang it, that was a fantastic joke. But hey, Ming Yang, he's like the Chinese GI Joe with that crimson chin action, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you here, man. I was like the Shaq meme. I was unfamiliar with his game. That Anthony Hernandez fight. Wow, it's the coming home fight for Anthony Hernandez, and he got elbowed until he nearly damn near changed genders mid-fight. Like, it was insane watching that. Just elbows galore, busted him up, blood everywhere. I'm on Ming Yang here too, man. Ming Yang knockout for me also. And you were saying that he has at least round 1 knockouts. Johnny Walker, his brain can't take anymore. Bobby, if you can get Ming Yang round 1 win, it's still minus 160.
Yeah, not surprised. It's ridiculous.
Get the
Not
guy
surprised.
to finish in the exact round is minus 160. That's unbelievable.
It's hard to see it going Johnny Walker's way, man.
I think I know what one of my legs are going to be in the underdog graphic this week. I mean, I don't know how anybody could not be on Ming Yang knockout. And it raises a question, with Vegas pointing at that direction so much and it making sense to go that way. 93% of picks on Tapology are on Ming Yang, which 7% on Johnny Walker on Tapology. That seems like a lot to me, Bobby.
Yeah.
Also, looking at the money percentages, Ming Yang, 86% of bets, 84% of the money. Minus 355. I'm not too concerned about being public there. But I also have one more piece of information from one of our informants over there why I know Ming Yang is going to win. And he can't, this isn't from him because it won't come true. But did you know that his birthday was a week ago when this fight starts? And he blew out the candle on his cake, Bobby. And he wished to get a first round knockout of Johnny Walker.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work out, man, because Sean O'Malley got tapped out in front of his dad on his dad's birthday. It was almost like Scotty Doesn't Know from Euro Trip, where he's like, I did her on his birthday. It's like I got choked out in front of my dad on his birthday.
He blew it into the smoke. He blew it like some incense, like some from old Kung Fu movie, man. He said, Johnny Walker, first round knockout. And a tiger formed in the smoke.
So you're saying it's more like Rihanna's version of cake? Or it's like cake, 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 blow the candles out, cake, cake, cake?
Yeah, I guess something more like that.
It's a better song than, getting did on your birthday?
Yeah, no, someone's getting diddled, but it ain't going to be Ming Yang.
All right.
Let's talk about this. We always give you guys at the very end of the shows the haymaker pick. That's just a big plus odd play that we think is going to hit. I don't know if we've hit exactly a haymaker recently, but we've been hitting these methods. So we hit like a plus 850, I believe, last week. And then the week before that was something very similar. So we're hitting these. It's just, sometimes they're not the haymaker, but if you're going the way I think you're going, I like the haymaker. So, Bobby, what do you think, dude?
Yeah, let me double check right quick. Yeah, we've hit a few. I know, like
I'm trying to block you right here. If that Ortega fight doesn't happen, it's not going to look good on the graphic.
Yeah, I'm just going to avoid that one.
Boy.
How are you finding this shit out? Because I'm not seeing anything about that. It's wild. It's wild. But I'll just avoid that one. Yeah, I'll just avoid that one. Twitch. Our sources, our crazy Kev sources. that we got out there. Let's see here.
I'm thinking Waldo.
I know last week we didn't hit because it was the DDP haymaker, but man, we've had some good ones like Khalil Roundtree decision in his last fight. The Marab sub, that was another good one that we've had.
Yeah, Marab sub was nuts. That one was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we just hit Hernandez.
Yeah, Anthony the Hernandez ones. Yep. Yes. Well, because it's like Anthony the sub. Hernandez. You got the sub at such a good value. Even
you want to make sure you're getting the right A Hernandez there.
Right. Yeah. Not Aaron. Even though they're both stone cold killers. So. Well, I'm not taking Minyang on anything. I'm avoiding the Ortega fight because we don't know what the fuck happened with Ortega.
Yo. Waldo, bro.
I'm just going to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta, Salsa Boy, Salsa dancing his way to a decision at plus 450.
Because besides that, I don't think either of us are feeling good enough about Borja Sumaderji. And the other one's Pereira. So,
that's too sketchy.
Pereira wasn't even good, wasn't he? Yeah, it's plus 130 KO, 225 decision.
Yeah, it's not that great, and I am worried enough about Dawkins that I could see Dawkins just willing himself to victory in that fight.
So we're Birdman rubbing our hands. The Cortez decision is at plus 450.
Yeah, plus 450. Let's go with that one.
Let's do it, dude. All right.
And let's hope it doesn't fall apart. Hopefully this is already a thin card, man. We can't take just one more actual good fight. That was one of the best fights on this card. If that truly falls off, number one, you heard it here first. Put some respect on the name.
Yeah.
Number two, wow, I'm really probably not watching this live.
Probably not, bro. I'm saying thank God they put this card together for the one at 3 a.m. It's already a snooze fest, man. Just turn on in the background. I'll be sleeping if I'm up or not. I'm going to be sleeping through it.
Call it SpongeBob. Who instead of who orders a Krabby Patty at 3 a.m., who watches UFC whatever at 3 a.m.? Oh, boy, 3 a.m. Let me turn on Zhang Mingyang and Johnny Walker.
Oh, surprise. It lasted 45 seconds and Johnny Walker reverted to his fetal state.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Just slowly pans out.
They just make it cinematic with some camera work. Guys, that's going to do it for the first live edition of Tapping Vegas. And the format will be the same. I might not have the graphics when we do go live for football season stuff. Moving towards this live format for our shows, we will still have the pre-recorded episodes for people that like to watch the episodes later on. They don't want to join the lives. That's fine. Maybe we'll even add something at the end of the show where we can shoot the shit, give extra bets, and answer some questions in the comments or something like that, Bobby. We'll figure something out with these lives to make them fun. Something. But we will also start, me and Bobby will be doing fantasy football live starting on Tuesdays once the season starts. We do those waiver wire shows, so there will not be one for week one because, damn, if you're hitting the waiver wire already right after your draft, you might be cooked already, bro.
Hey, shut up. I've been hitting the waiver wire right after the draft. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, Keaton Mitchell was going to get scooped up by somebody, bro.
You like that?
I did like that. That was a nice play there, man. But thank you guys for watching once again. Once the football season starts, you get me and Bobby on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm with you guys for Intentional Lounging on Wednesdays. Ethan and Wyatt are already coming out with their college breakdown. Oh my goodness, college breakdown videos. They're doing the conferences. That's what I was trying to get out of there. They're doing the 4 Power 4 conferences. They're giving you guys their future predictions. They just gave out. Man, Ethan was on my Buckeyes. Wyatt was on Penn State. And it's like Ethan got my heart, but Wyatt got my brain, man. So they've been really, really good. I've been torn with some of their picks. So you guys make sure to check those out. Leave them some comments over there too. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the